Xbox On. Welcome to Xbox On, a podcast with one host about one console, Xbox. I'm said host Jess DeRosa, and on today's episode, we'll be talking about the latest Xbox news for the week of August 8th, 2024, including Avowed has officially been delayed, Game Informer closes its doors for good, WB Games may be interested in getting out of games or changing tracks again, and more. On this day in Xbox history, on this week, I always forget to say week, in Xbox history, in the year 2016, 8 years ago, Rocksmith 2014 edition got the Bad Religion song pack. Yeah. Well, you know, it's summertime. There's never any game releases. I'm sure there was something moderately, or at least decidedly more notable than this, but Bad Religion's a fucking awesome band, and I was actually listening to them the day that I was writing the notes for this podcast, and I was like, hey, what are the odds? I was just listen to Bad Religion. Here it is, the 8-year anniversary of that time. A pack of, 3 or 4 songs of theirs was added to Rocksmith, the video game, the Ubisoft game that people thought was a Guitar Hero knockoff that actually teaches you how to play the real guitar, which ultimately didn't really stick around, to stand the test of time because people don't want to learn how to play guitar. They want to fake play guitar like on Guitar Hero because it makes them feel badass without having to actually learn a new skill. Please, for love of God, Ubisoft, understand, nobody wants to know how to play the real guitar. Nobody gets laid that way, okay? FC, Through the Fire and Flames, on expert difficulty, that's how you get some panties to drop. They might be little boy panties, but I only promised you panties. So, all right, we've already made a Catholic Church joke, and we're only 40 seconds into the podcast. Guys, welcome to Xbox On, episode 271. It is an episode of the show. Got to be honest with you guys, I am going to try to keep the pacing kind of brisk this week, not because I don't know, I feel bad. I feel like I'm skimping you guys. Like normally my whole motto, my whole philosophy behind how I do the show is just take as much time as you need. If you meander about, that's kind of what makes the show what it is. But this week I really do need to kind of keep to a track and speed things along, just for the simple fact that right now my work schedule is just kind of all over the place right now. I just don't have the typical work-life balance I have had in the past. All good things, things are good with work. It's just that I'm just in a weird flux state right now where I have decidedly less time as of late at the end of the day, and unless I want to go to bed at 1 a.m. and then wake up 3 hours later, I gotta cut time somewhere. So the podcast is going to be a little more on rails this time. It's okay. Maybe let me know what you think. Be like, Jesse, I actually kind of like that you were a little more straight to the point. Maybe an hour and 15-minute runtime on the episode, a little less meandering, a little less non sequitur type of stuff. Maybe cut out some of the parts about food. Nah, probably not going to do that. If we had to cut something from Xbox On, let's be honest, it's probably going to be Xbox news before it's like Disney and food talk. I mean, just would it really be an Xbox podcast if we didn't tell you about the Raising Cane's I just had that was kind of lukewarm because I had to drive home 37 minutes in order to eat it. So, it wasn't at peak temperature. I mean, come on, you guys need to know these things. I got to tell you. So anyway, that's just a little housekeeping at the top of the show. Real quick, guys, let's talk about some notable game releases of the week. Really not too much. There are a handful of games coming, but nothing that I'm like, guys, I gotta tell you. I guess it's worth mentioning SteamWorld Heist 2 is coming out. I stopped paying attention to anything SteamWorld related so long ago. I remember SteamWorld Dig for Nintendo 3DS. And then that SteamWorld brand just kind of became a thing. We got Heist and Heist 2 and SteamWorld Dig 2 and SteamWorld. Wasn't there a SteamWorld World or something like that? Or wasn't there some kind of puzzle version of it? I don't know. There's a lot of these things. I got nothing to say about them, but it's got good reviews because SteamWorld games tend to do well. Thunderful Publishing has published the game. If you buy it now in its introductory week, you can get it for only $27 with your Game Pass subscription as opposed to the standard $30. So for what it's worth, there's a little incentive for you. But guys, that's really not what we're here to talk about today. In fact, we've got some news to talk about, and we'll start off with maybe not the biggest story. I don't know, maybe it's the biggest story. Let's just jump into our mildly amusing stories, updates, stories of that nature, kind of our appetizer stories, if you will. We're past the bread course, okay? I told you about games coming out this week. I told you about I got to keep the podcast at a brisk pace. That's your fucking complimentary bread. What do you want, okay? Now it's time for appetizers. Get ready for the butternut squash soup because you're on a diet and you chose soup instead of the fucking calamari. It's okay. Little did you know, the soup is just as unhealthy as the calamari. That's the trick to food. Everything makes you fat and dead. So anyway, time for some appetizer stories. Really, this is like, in my opinion, the biggest thing to talk about this week. There's just not much to say about it, but let's jump into it nonetheless. Microsoft has officially announced that Avowed has been delayed until next year. Although an official release date had yet to be confirmed, Xbox was planning it as a 2024 release, which is most notably seen in their developer direct at the beginning of the year, where they focused on the 4 big first-party games of 2024, one of which was Avowed. Now, while a release date was never intentionally announced, there was a brief moment where accidentally a November 12th release date was put on Obsidian's website before quickly being removed. However, a message posted on the official Xbox account on Twitter has confirmed that the game will now release on February 18th, 2025. Just as a side note, I don't call it Twitter because it's not like a protesting. I know a lot of people are protesting Elon Musk by calling it Twitter. I call it Twitter because I genuinely feel like a fucking dumbass every time I say X instead of Twitter. It also feels like it's unnatural. It fucks up the flow of speech. This is not like one of those 45-year-old chubby Orlando guy things where it's like, I remember when it was called MGM Studios. I'll never call it Hollywood Studios. It's MGM. Shut up. Nobody thinks you're cool. We get it. You watched a YouTube video and now you think you know everything about Disney's history. I'm not trying to be one of those guys, okay? That's a very broad reference. I'm sure 90% of you caught. I'm not trying to be one of those guys. I genuinely have a hard time calling it X because it's just a really silly name. Let's just be honest. I'm not making a judgment either which way about Elon Musk or about politics or whatever baggage is associated with that godforsaken dumpster fire of a social media website. I just can't bring myself to not call it Twitter. Twitter was a very apt, iconic, unique, one-of-a-kind name. That's your Google. You know, it's one of those names where it's like, there it is. No one will ever think of anything other than this one thing because you came up with a name, a ubiquitous name, Twitter. But no, let's change it to the letter X, which is just like the most ambiguous, nonsensical name. Whatever. Anyway, Avowed has been delayed to February 18th, 2025. Boohoo. Accompanied with the image on Twitter announcing the delay and all that, the wall of text and all the shit we always get. There's an image also showing an upcoming... Sorry, I'm fucking up the reading. Holy crap. Accompanied with an image showing the upcoming first-party Xbox games, the message reads, "So many games are coming. As such, we're moving Avowed to February 18th, 2025 to give players backlogs some breathing room. Stay tuned for more from our games across Activision, Blizzard, Bethesda, Xbox Game Studios at Gamescom, including our August 23rd live stream for a look at Avowed. Attendees at Gamescom will get hands-on with the following Xbox games, including Age of Mythology, Ara History Untold, Diablo 4 Vessel of Hatred, Fallout 76 Milepost Zero, Elder Scrolls Online Gold Road, and Towerborn. Xbox will also host exclusive theater presentations for Avowed, Indiana Jones and the Great Circle, as well as Starfield Shattered Space. Gamescom Opening Night Live will kick off its showcase hosted by Jeff Keighley, and that will return on August 20th, with the main event running from the 21st to the 25th. So Opening Night Live, of course, is that Game Awards, Summer Game Fest, Gamescom edition thing. So if it's anything like Summer Game Fest, it will be fucking eye-wateringly miserable to watch. Generally, the way this works is Summer Game Fest, pretty shitty. Opening Night Live, okay. Game Awards in December, pretty good. That's generally the way these go, but history doesn't always dictate things. Maybe, who knows? Maybe this will be a great one. But anyway, Xbox will be at Gamescom. They will show Avowed. They will show more of it, talk more about it. And I thought that was clever, cute, well done the way they try to spin the we need more time to work on this game to be like, we need more breathing room and you need more breathing room in your backlog. I will say maybe, just maybe, there's a world where Obsidian is ready to launch this game in November, and the reason it gets delayed to February is because Xbox is looking at the Game Pass release schedule and they're saying, we don't want to do another 2021 Halo Infinite, Forza Horizon 5 fiasco where we take all of our good shit and launch it all at once and then go through 12 to 15 months of nothing. So maybe they are just trying to space out the big heavy hitter Game Pass releases a little better and putting a game like Avowed right smack dab in the middle of Black Ops 6 and Indiana Jones and the Great Circle is kind of a god-awful, terrible idea. And maybe Avowed was originally planned for a fall 2024 release date in a world where Xbox didn't own Activision, and maybe they didn't think, oh, Call of Duty will be our game in the fall of 2024, and so maybe they had more incentive to have a big game like Avowed in the fall of 2024, and now that they have Black Ops 6 and that is their baby, maybe it's better to kind of space things out. Maybe it's a little bit of column A, a little bit of column B. Maybe the game needed some touch-up, some refinement in a couple months wouldn't hurt. And maybe they just didn't want to make the game completely fucking bomb sandwiched in between Call of Duty and Indiana Jones. Multiple things can be true. But clearly this game needed a little bit of a delay. More than likely, they need some more time to polish it up. That's why every game gets delayed. That's why games get delayed every 10 seconds. You're either getting delayed or getting laid off. Those are the only two things that really happen in the games industry. Other than that, we're all just making GTA and Far Cry clones. I mean, I don't know what else video games are about. Anyway, I don't know. I can't be too upset about this one. Of course, I was very much looking forward to Avowed. It was my number one most anticipated game of 2024. So personally, of course, I'm a little disappointed. I thought Avowed had very much, I've said it on the podcast before, it had that like, that's my cozy, fun holiday game. That's the game I'm going to really love playing during those like 47 hours of cold we get here in Florida, you know, around Thanksgiving and Christmas. It's the holidays. It's a cozy, quiet time. It's a family time, stay indoors kind of time. I felt like this was going to be the game that really fit the bill for me in that way. Oh, well, I guess I'll fucking be fine. I'm going to be playing tons of Black Ops 6 zombies and tons of Indiana Jones for the 14 hours the game lasts before the credits roll, and tons of other stuff because there's a million other things to do with your time than play Avowed, because that is just how much opportunity we have, not just in gaming, but in being human beings and being alive. Do you ever think maybe you don't need to play another video game? Sometimes you need to take a break and maybe go to the mall so you can go to Sephora so you can be reminded of how glad you are that you don't have a girlfriend, because makeup is very expensive, only to then walk by a 17-year-old couple that is young, naive, and in love and see them hug each other, and the girl says, I love you, and the boy, even though he has pimples and he's ugly and he kind of dresses badly, looks like the happiest man in the world, and then you immediately no longer feel good about saying, I'm glad I don't have a girlfriend. Makeup's expensive, and now you immediately feel like, shit, I'm lonely and I have to go home to myself because I have no one to love me, and I'm 37 and I'm still obsessed with the girl from high school that rejected me, and I put all my money, I took out money from my 401k so I could buy that Firebird, but girls don't think it's attractive that I drive it. They kind of wish I just, that no one gives a shit about what you drive. It's more, as my girlfriend says, it's more of a thing that attracts men and less so women. That's why guys get motorcycles, is to attract other men. That is what she says. That's not what I say. But as someone who once had a motorcycle, I can confirm that is moderately true, because women really don't give a shit when you ride a motorcycle. They really, they just don't pay attention to that stuff. I will tell you one thing women do pay attention to. One thing that is a huge boner killer, for lack of a better term. Women don't like it when you use Android phones. I can confirm that. People definitely think you are a redneck and a Republican and a Nazi if you have an Android phone. I say that as someone who has an Android phone and is indeed not a Nazi or a Republican or a what I say or what I just to be clear, I like my Android phone. Anyway, was there an Xbox podcast in here somewhere? Oh yeah, so Obsidian, Microsoft, they delayed the Avowed. I don't know, man. I saw a lot of people saying the game looked rough around the edges the couple of times we've seen it this year. I'm not skilled enough to be able to look at that gameplay footage and be like, oof, this game looks rough. To me, I was like, game looks fun. I wish I could play it now, kind of thing. So I'll take other people's word for it that they called it from a mile away and this game definitely needed some work. It's also worth saying that just every game gets delayed. Every game that has a budget of more than $27 gets delayed. Every game that requires more than 4 people to develop it gets delayed these days. So I'm pretty sure that this was an inevitability in any case, and maybe even Indiana Jones gets delayed. I'm still not totally convinced that game's coming out this year. But nonetheless, yes, it's disappointing. Yes, it's a good thing. And yes, we can all wait and find plenty of things to keep us entertained and distracted until we hit November 18th. Yeah, and Xbox is at Gamescom. I don't really give a shit, man. I'm glad they're not doing a fucking showcase, though, because Xbox, I'd rather them do fewer showcases and have them be super heavy hitters like the one we just got back in June, than do like the 2015, 2017 Xbox thing where they were just constantly at every showcase, always announcing something, but never having any games to show for it. So this is good. This is good. I like this. We'll probably see Xbox at the Game Awards this December with some very important news. So stay tuned if you're sad that Xbox isn't going to be doing their own showcase here. Anyway, I mean, they are doing their own their thing, but they're not going to do, their live stream, but they're not doing a stage show. Phil Spencer isn't going to come out and fucking drop from the ceiling like what's that movie? Mission Impossible. All right, let's move on, guys. Crash Bandicoot. He is an inevitability for Game Pass, and today we have confirmation that Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy is indeed coming to Game Pass this week. In fact, confirmed from recent leaks, Xbox said on Tuesday that the game will be on the service on August 8th. Wait a minute. August 8th is the day this podcast goes live. Oh my God. What a great day, you guys. Go play Crash Bandicoot on Game Pass if you haven't played it already. It's there now as of the time you're listening to this podcast. Isn't that such a swell surprise? Yeah, I mean, the same source who indicated that this was going to happen, same guy that also said that Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1+2 as well as Spyro Reignited Trilogy will be coming to Game Pass soon. So those are probably late August, early September gets for the service. I'm really looking forward to Spyro. That's the one I'm holding out for because I like Crash just fine. I already played Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2 remake, but Spyro, those are some of the childhood highlight video games for me, is that those original Spyro games on PS1. So I would love to play those games yet again. And I've been holding out for a couple of years because I just knew this collection would come to Game Pass, and glad I did, I guess. Even though this trilogy is regularly on sale for like $11 during holiday sales and stuff, so maybe it's not that big a deal. But anyway, I'm excited about it, and maybe you should too. Just be excited. It's fun to be excited about things. Okay, all right. Finally, keeping things very Activision centric, Activision has released the first trailer for the Call of Duty Black Ops 6 Zombies mode. One of the launch maps for Zombies is Terminus, a mysterious military outpost located in the Philippine Sea, where a number of former members of the CIA-led Requiem team are being held prisoner. Activision plans to fully unveil Zombies on, what'd you guess? What do you know? This Thursday, the day the podcast goes live at 11 a.m. Also, just worth noting, there was a huge leak for Black Ops 6, tons of multiplayer footage like maps and gunsmith features and all that were revealed, even though it's so silly. They're about to do the reveal on this shit on Thursday anyway. Did you guys really have to leak it like 3 days in advance? Like, so silly. But anyway, just worth noting, it keeps popping up and getting taken down all throughout the internet, so I'm sure you could find it if you really wanted to, but I don't really care about that stuff. I'm just more into the zombie stuff. I like where they're going with this. It seems like they have a new cast of characters. For the last couple of games with Zombies, it's like you've played as your Warzone character or your multiplayer character, which is so dumb. It's so silly. So the prospect that they have actual characters again, like they used to in the old games, and they'll have story and names and like interaction and dialogue between the characters, has me very excited. So I'm looking forward to that, assuming that's what the trailer is teasing, by having all these various characters with names and interactions talking to one another and doing shit. So I do look forward to that. I hope you can play as these different characters, and just overall, I mean, not much to say. It's just that, damn, this game looks like it's coming along so well. I really am excited for some proper, full 4-year development cycle, content complete, Black Ops, Treyarch, Call of Duty, Magic. Very much looking forward to that. But guys, that's it for our little opening appetizers. I hope you enjoyed your split pea soup. I hope you enjoyed your heirloom tomato with basil and a oil and balsamic glaze and mozzarella, buffalo mozzarella with some cracked sea salt and pepper. And, it's a little burrata type dish, and it's nice. It's light. Makes you feel like you're eating something fancy and healthy, but in reality, you're just overpaying for 3 basic ingredients, but it's okay. We're having fun. The atmosphere at the restaurant is quite nice. The bartender's a little showy, but that's okay. His drinks aren't half bad. But they aren't half priced either. I mean, $13 for an old-fashioned? Are you kidding me? All right. So that's it for our opening stories. You guys, we're going to get into the main news now, but before I can do that, I got to tell you about the games I've been playing, because I have been playing some video games in my free time over this past weekend. But before I can even tell you about the games I've been playing, I must tell you about what I've been eating. I wish I could tell you about what I've been eating. I don't have anything too profound or exciting to tell you about. I will tell you about this, though. Saturday, for the first time in a couple weeks, convinced the girlfriend to let me go to Disney World. I really wanted to go to Hollywood Studios, speaking of MGM Hollywood Studios, because Rock and Roller Coaster is finally up after a long-ass refurbishment. I love Rock and Roller Coaster. I really just wanted to hear Love in an Elevator by Aerosmith blast in my face while I ride in the little super stretch limo roller coaster. I love that ride so much. It's one of like the top 5 things that just reminds me so much of the first time I went to Disney World, because I just remember that ride for some reason leaving a very big impression on me. Doesn't matter. It's irrelevant. So we're at the Hollywood Studios. We pop in and we're there. And we're in the back of the park because it's a little more crowded than we thought it was going to be. And I say, hey, I know we don't like this Star Wars land all that much, but we got to walk through it to get where we're going. Do you mind if I stop by for a blue milk? And she said, fine. And then we walk back there to get the blue milk. And then I get a phone call from a friend before I get there. And then he distracts me and we end up not even getting the blue milk. And we actually end up leaving the park altogether. But it got me thinking, I really have a hankering for some blue milk. It's been a while. You might be saying, Jesse, what's blue milk? Let me gaslight you a little bit. You know what blue milk is because you're a Star Wars fan, don't you? I mean, any real Star Wars fan knows what blue milk is. It's the milk that Luke Skywalker drinks because it's blue and it comes from a bantha or one of the 40,000 other mythical creatures from the Star Wars universe. I don't fucking know. I just know in one or more of the movies, there is a blue milk. And when you go to Star Wars Galaxy's Edge at Disney's Hollywood Studios and or a Disneyland theme park in California, you can go to the blue milk stand and order yourself a blue milk straight from the movie. And you might be thinking, what is that? Just blue raspberry milk? What is that? Just regular milk, but like with blue food coloring? What is that? Like a vanilla milkshake with blue food coloring? Shut up. You're stupid. You're wrong. Stop guessing. You sound stupid. Okay. No, blue milk is, I don't fucking know what it is. It's some weird vegan concoction. It's a chilled, I don't know. What is the texture? What is the consistency of blue milk? It's like a thick, like a melted milkshake type of thick smoothie like texture. And it's a plant-based non-dairy drink that I remember it was basically Disney being like, hey, over at the Harry Potter place at Universal, they sell a lot of that butterbeer. We want to have butterbeer of our own. Let's do blue milk because Luke Skywalker drinks blue milk one time in a movie. All right, there we go. And a lot of people are like, blue milk's fine. I feel like that's the general consensus. It's not like when you go to Harry Potter at Universal and everyone's like, oh my God, butterbeer is so good. When you go to Disney and you go to the Star Wars land and you have the blue milk, it's like, it's fine. But I gotta be honest, I personally really dig the blue milk. I actually think it might be my favorite part of the whole Star Wars land. I don't know. Rise of the Resistance is a really good ride. But aside from that, I think the blue milk might be my other favorite thing in all of Star Wars land, which I guess isn't saying much because the land is like half amazing, half boring as shit. But the blue milk is very delicious. I like it a lot. It's nutty. It's like a coconut kind of flavor a little bit. But it's just like this generic, indiscernible, vaguely dairy, but not dairy kind of smoothie type drink that is very refreshing in the hot Florida sun. And I enjoy it quite a bit. Now, I think you can add a shot of vodka to it for like $8 extra. It's ridiculous. You pay like $18 for a blue milk with vodka. Bullshit. Rip off. Don't do that. The alcohol actually makes it taste worse anyway. Don't do that. Get the regular blue milk. I think it's like $7 or $8. It's still a little overpriced for what it is, but it's pretty good. I like it pretty good. So there we are. Same positive things about Star Wars. The blue milk, I see why Luke Skywalker drinks it. It tastes good. Plus, now we all know Luke Skywalker's a vegan. So let that taint your childhood even further, you 40-year-old fucking 80s kids. All right, guys, that's it for what I've been. Well, I haven't been eating it this week, but I've had it in the past. So there we go. It counts. Now let's get on to what I've been playing. I'm still as for what I've been playing, I'm still playing around with Path of the Goddess Kunitsugami. I like this game a lot, actually. It's just it's not the kind of game I want to sit down and play like for 3 hours and like get a lot of it done. It's pretty like the structure is pretty much it's like level based or mission based, and each mission takes like 20 minutes. And I like to play the game kind of in bite-sized chunks. It's like do a mission, enjoy that, and then move on. You know, it's fun. I like the action strategy, kind of unique gameplay this is. I really, really, really appreciate this game for being so unique and unlike anything out there on the market today. And I really appreciate that Capcom was willing to greenlight a game like this. Very much speaks to the, you know, what I'm always championing on this podcast. We need more of the AA games. We need more experimental games. We need more risks in gaming, less Far Cry clones, more of this kind of stuff. This game isn't like a Jesse game top to bottom, like it's just screaming my name. I just want to play through it and talk about how it's the greatest game ever. But it is a very fun game. It is a very unique game. It is a game I'm very glad I'm playing and would have happily paid for, just to be honest. But I'm like, I don't know, I'm only like 4 or 5 missions in. A couple boss battles. I don't really like the stuff in between missions where you have to like go back to these bases and like restore and repair things and level up and unlock and customize like your abilities and your skills and your buffs and stuff. I wish it was a little more brain dead and straightforward, just like on to the next mission, with maybe some more linear and basic kind of RPG leveling and stat boosting mechanics. But aside from that, I really do enjoy the moment to moment. The game, it's like any kind of tower defense strategy game. Every time you beat a level, the next one just a little more savvy, enemies are coming out from multiple points. Now we got to defend the princess at this point. Now you got to have a good mix of archers and, melee guys. And it's just about, strategizing your guys, planning everything at the right time, and then also having a little bit of that third person action, hack and slash kind of skill. And it just makes for a really fun time. Very unique game. I very much like this game, but just dabbling in that. The other game I've been playing, and this is the game I've been playing more intimately or more so this weekend, is Dungeons of Hinterberg. This is a game that came to Game Pass a week or two ago that I said I was going to try. Definitely wanted to give it a go. And I actually like this game a lot more than I thought I would. I thought this would be like a fun game to play for an hour and then I'd move on. Not sure that this is a game I want to play all the way through the end. How Long to Beat says it's like a 12 to 15 hour kind of game. Not sure if I'm going to see it through all the way to the end, but I actually do like this game more than I thought I would. So what's like the elevator pitch for this game? So it's kind of cool. It's like you play as this girl who you're like a law firm intern and you kind of hate your job and you're recent college grad, you're early in your career, and you're just a little frazzled and you're like, I need to get away. So you're in Europe, so you're in like, where it's all European and they got like trolls and mountains and stuff. And you go to this little, like Nordic fictional town where it's all like mountainous and in the wilderness, like this get in touch with nature kind of thing. And it's this resort that's known for, it's like they got lodges and little shops and restaurants and stuff. But you go to this place because they have this inexplainable presence of like these monster creatures and magic exists there. And in this world, people go here as like sport. Like people come to this retreat as like a vacation where they learn like sword combat and like different kind of magic spells so they can fight these monsters. And like in the world, like monsters are like not even sentient. They don't feel pain and they don't have like thoughts or anything or consciousness. So like it's ethically okay. And people just go there and they just like destroy these monsters and they go through these dungeon portals and clear these little dungeons. And it's like a sport thing. Like people do it like the way they do like mountain climbing or skiing or something like that. So it's like a little, it's interesting. I like how it takes like the tropes of like nerdy dungeons and orcs and monsters kinds of tropes that you get in like nerd culture and in fantasy and in video games and turns it into like this kind of like sport type thing. It's really a unique little concept. But so the game is basically, there's these 25 dungeons. You're in this town on vacation. You're trying to get through these dungeons and get in touch with nature and like discover about yourself because you hate the real world where you're so sucked in by your job and you have no sense of self because whatever. So it's like, okay, cool, whatever. The thing I don't like about this game, I'll just get out of the way, is that in between exploring and going to dungeons and puzzle solving and having fun, the game has like this Persona kind of like the Persona video games kind of like inspired mechanic where there's like a day, afternoon, night cycle. Like it'll be like day 1 morning time, day 1 evening time, day 2 morning, whatever. And like you play the game based on the day and the time of day, and that impacts what you're able to do and who you're able to talk to and stuff like that. So when you're not like going through dungeons and completing quests and stuff, you do go back into the town and it's like, oh, I should go socialize with people at the local restaurant, make some friends here. And it's like, okay, do you choose to do that at the coffee shop or the restaurant? Do you choose to go, it's like, oh, I need to go get more potions and equipment for tomorrow when I go back into the dungeons. But it's like, okay, the shops close around dawn, so make sure that you do that in the morning or in the midday, because if it's later in the day and then you go to do that, you might fuck up your chances of being able to stock up on inventory. So it's like, it's got like those things where there's relationships and things you can and can't do depending on the day and the time. I don't love that. I feel like it's an unnecessary social aspect to this game that's otherwise pretty straightforward, where it's a pretty basic kind of Zelda clone with some inspirations from other games, where it's like you go out into the field, you look for the next dungeon. Every dungeon has like an increased difficulty level, so you're trying to do them in ascending order from easiest to hardest. And each dungeon is only like a bite-sized, like maybe 20-minute at most kind of experience, where there's some puzzle mechanic introduced, and then you use your magic powers and puzzle solving skills to overcome some obstacle throughout the dungeon, fight some enemies, a boss at the end, and then you exit the portal and you're out and you complete the dungeon, and you get another stamp in your book that says, I completed this dungeon. And that's kind of like the hook of the game, is exploring, finding the next dungeon, unlocking new magic abilities, and then completing the dungeon, solving the puzzles, and moving on to the next dungeon, which is harder than the last one. And it's actually a really fun and compelling gameplay loop, but I hate that it's broken up with this like Persona social aspect of having to go into town and make friends, and like, oh, I better talk to the shopkeeper and tell him I'm allergic to quail eggs in case he tries to serve me one. It's I don't want to do that shit. I just want to play the dungeons and unlock, it's like more Zelda, less Persona, I guess I would say, in terms of this game's inspiration. But it's fun. The mechanics are pretty basic. The attacks, the movements, everything, the magic spells are pretty rudimentary. I've completed like 5 of the 25 dungeons, so I'm not terribly far in the game, but I am enjoying this game quite a bit. It really is a great deal of fun. It's a great Logitech G Cloud kind of game, like put on some TV or YouTube in the background and just play this game while you multitask. It's really fun for that kind of thing. It'll be a great game actually when hockey comes back next month. But yeah, honestly, this game is like perfect Game Pass game. Like, this is a game I would have never bought. I would have never looked into. I would have never cared about, but because it's on Game Pass, I said, why not? And I'm having a great time. Is it my favorite game of 2024? No. Is it a must play that you got to go, even if you don't have Game Pass, you need to go drop $20-$30 to play this game? Nope. But if you have Game Pass, I highly recommend it. If you're a fan of games like Persona or Zelda, or you like aspects of these kinds of adventure puzzle solving games, great fun little game, nice little indie title. Dungeons of Hinterberg, I'm having a good time. Again, I don't know that I'll beat it, but I'll definitely play more of it. I think I'll get to see at least half the dungeons and stuff. I'm not super invested in the characters or the story or any of that. So from that perspective, it's like I feel like I can just play until I'm satisfied. But who knows? Maybe I will beat it. Maybe I won't. Just like Blue Milk. Maybe I'll get some. Maybe I won't. I don't fucking know. But that's it for what I've been playing. You guys, take a quick water break, and then we'll come back and talk about the news. Thank you. All right, now we're into the news. 33 minutes, not shabby. All right, I don't know what I was thinking when I put this one as first. I think it's just for sentimental reasons. But first up in the news this week, I put Game Informer closing after 33 years. I know this kind of happened like after the podcast went up last week, so it's kind of old news at this point. But hey, I want to say something about it. I miss Game Informer. I like Game Informer. I'm nostalgic for Game Informer, or as they call it in France, Game Informer. And then they have to spit after they say it in France. All right, the long-running U.S. publication will close its doors following over 3 decades. A letter posted on X reads, after 33 thrilling years of bringing you the latest news, reviews, and insights from ever-evolving world of gaming, it's with a heavy heart that we announce the closure of Game Informer. From the early days of pixelated adventures to today's immersive virtual realms, we've been honored to share our incredible journey with you, our loyal readers. While our presses may stop, the passion for gaming we've cultivated together will continue to live on. Thank you for being a part of our epic quest, and may your own gaming adventures never end. Veterans of Game Informer include Andy McNamara, the publication's former editor, who now works at EA, Dan Reichert, who is now of Giant Bomb fame, and Ben Hansen, who is now part of MinMax. Game Informer was known for its unprecedented access, revealing dozens of games during its history. Game Informer's parent company, GameSpot, laid off several staff from its magazine operations back in 2022. For the majority of its run, Game Informer was only available via a GameStop-backed subscription. In 2024, it offered readers a chance to subscribe to the magazine outside of GameStop's membership. Well, I guess that was their last-ditch effort, because now, no more. I don't know. I mean, this one's hard because it's like, on the one hand, it's like, is anyone surprised? But on the other hand, it's like, I'm actually a little surprised they made it this long. But then on like the third hand, because some people got 3 hands, it's also just like, yeah, I know it was inevitable, but it doesn't change the fact that it's still sad, I don't know. I like Game Informer a lot. I feel like there's a lot of us who feel that nostalgia for like there's something about, like, I never had a Game Informer subscription, but I remember every time going to GameStop, hey, do you want to become a, what do they call it again? What do they call their membership program? I don't know why it's escaping me right now, but they have their stupid reward pro rewards, and then they have like a platinum and a silver tier. So I don't remember how they fucking did it, but it's every time you go to GameStop, you're like, hey, I'm here to fucking pre-order, Mario because I'm dumb and I play Nintendo Wii even though all my friends are on Xbox. And the guy's like, cool, do you want to are you a pro member? Do you want Game Informer? Do you want the cover magazine? Do you want to put $5 down for The Legend of Zelda? Do you want to put $5 down for Madden NFL 2011? Do you want to put $5 down so I can get another tattoo of my dog humping my girlfriend because my dog gets more action from my girlfriend than I do? What the fuck? Every time, because that's how the GameStop guys are. That's how the GameStop guys always are. They love tattoos of their dogs humping their. I don't know. Yeah, no, man. It's a big one. Growing up, as far as like the magazine, like gaming, like print publications go, I grew up a Nintendo nut. So for me, like Nintendo Power is the big one, no doubt. Like my mom used to take us to the public library all the time, back in good old Forsyth County, Georgia. And I remember like it's like you go to the Cumming Public Library and your mom's like, I hope you guys find beautiful stories full of rich details and worlds that make your imaginations run wild. Maybe you'll read Anne of Green Gables. Maybe you'll read fucking Fahrenheit 451. I don't goddamn know what you're gonna do. You stupid kids, go find a book. And then me and my brothers would always just like beeline to the fucking magazine room, go straight for the Game Informer and the Nintendo Power and the OXM and the fucking PlayStation Magazine, PSM, and all the rest or whatever the fuck. Just straight for the video game magazines. No brain cells, no learning involved. It was either that or like manga. We'd be like, do they have Nausicaa and the Valley of the Wind in manga form? Do they have Shonen Jump? Because that's what happens when you raise a bunch of fucking boys homeschooled, shunned from the rest of the world. I don't know what we were. Anyway, but I just like those are my fondest memories of like video game publications, like print media. Definitely Nintendo Power, dude. There's something so when you're a kid and like your whole world is like GBA and GameCube or N64 and GB Color, Game Boy Color, or whatever whatever generation you belong to. I guess technically, my first Nintendo that I had was a Game Boy Color and an N64, but I don't know. I feel like my prime childhood years were more Game Boy Advance and GameCube. So I really have a soft spot for those early 2000 GameCube GBA years. Like to me, like that is like, man, if as Yellowcard says, if I could find you now, things would be better. We could play GBA and die forever. I don't know what he says, but oh man, the fucking memories. I remember that the issue of Nintendo Power with the fucking Tales of Symphonia, and I remember being like, I don't know what this game is or why, because my brother plays Final Fantasy and I don't care about Final Fantasy, but for some reason these specific anime characters are doing it for me. I need to get Tales of Symphonia for my Nintendo GameCube that's wrapped in a Pokemon XD Gale of Darkness skin right now. And then you go to Blockbuster, and thank God your dad works for Blockbuster because you get free rentals, and then you get fucking what's it called? Tales of Symphonia, and you play it. It's your first JRPG, and you quickly realize you don't know what a JRPG is, and you suck at it. So you get like 3 hours into the game, and you think you're close to the end, but little do you know, you still got like 48 hours left in the main story. That's not happening. But I don't know. I miss that stuff. I miss the deep dives into the games, and like your kid with such limited access, and we didn't have cell phones or tablets or fucking Fortnite and Ninja on Twitch telling us what to think and like. And it was just like you picked up a Nintendo Power. You didn't know jack shit. You know, all you knew is that you like the Beyblade game and the Mario game you have at home. And then Nintendo Power is telling you, well, what about Tales of Symphonia? And you're like, well, what about Tales of Symphonia? And then you read the little mini guide they have in the middle of the issue, along with like the whole like news spread about the game and all the features. And you see the screenshots, and all the pages look all cool because it's like themed to the artwork of the game. It's like, it's so special. And then it's just you discover new games, and you learn about the games that exist that you never heard of before, and you just, I don't know, it's so cool. And you flip to the end of the magazine, it has all the reviews of the latest games that came out, and you can see like what scores all the games got. And, all the fun ads. Remember all the awesome ads in like comic. Oh, dude, I remember all my Spider-Man comics from the early 2000s. All the amazing ads you used to get, like the Airheads ad. It's just like the guy in his head is fucking huge, and it's like Airheads, it'll make your fucking mind explode. And like the mom's like screaming, and the telephone's on the floor, and there's like a fucking cow in the living room because it's 1999, and this is how we market to children. I don't know. I feel like ads today are just like Trifactor. Get 13% off your first month's order. Stop being a gay idiot and get Factor. It's like, This is why kids are so soft today, man. They don't have cool Airhead and Trix Rabbit commercials. All right, I'm leaning into my boomer tendencies a little bit, but this all brings back really warm memories. Aside from that, I mean, definitely PlayStation Magazine was a big one for us because the demo discs. You know, as a family, we shared me and all my many siblings shared a PlayStation 1, and then we shared a PlayStation 2 together. And so like those demo discs were like a godsend because it's like, yay, new games to play, and then we could all fight over the PlayStation again. Never really was an OXM guy because I feel like by the time I was like really getting balls deep into Xbox, it was kind of the early days of like, I'll just go to YouTube. I'll just go to IGN.com. I'm going to ask mom and dad to get me an iPod Touch for Christmas, and that's how I'll discover, you know, video game news via the internet. So, I don't know. I feel like with Xbox, that was kind of like dead for me by that point, but it goes all the way to Game Informer for sure. Game Informer, very fond memories. The Epic Mickey issue with like the fucking, the first artwork when they revealed Epic Mickey and how everyone was like, all right, hear me out. Mickey Mouse, I know nobody gives a shit about a Mickey Mouse video game, but it actually looks kind of badass. Look at this. And it's only for Nintendo Wii. And we were all like, oh my God, it's being made by the guy that came up with Deus Ex. Like, he's making a Mickey Mouse video game. What the fuck is this? And you pick up your Game Informer, and it's Warren Spector, and he's telling you about how he's like, I went to Burbank, California, or Glendale or whatever, and they let me in the Walt Disney archives, and I got to see all these drawings and notes and stuff that Walt Disney and his Imagineers used to work on. And as a fan who grew up going to Disney World or Disneyland in California and loving this shit, it was so awesome to get to make this Mickey Mouse game that pays homage to the parks and all. I'm like, the fuck, this is so cool. Like, I remember my buddy in middle school, James, had a subscription to Game Informer, and he'd always bring it to school with him. He'd be like, dude, I'm gonna play Red Faction Guerrilla. I'm like, you're dumb. I hope they make Halo 4 one day and that it's really awesome and everyone hates it anyway. And he's like, you're dumb. And then we just read Game Informer, and it was good. It was good shit. And there was no X, there was no Twitter, there was no Clout, there was no Twitch, but there was Cloud from Final Fantasy VII. And there was Tweak from South Park, so close enough, I guess. I don't know. I miss that shit. So I just want to give a shout out because Game Informer, you know, obviously being tied to GameStop, that was the thing that helped them get exposure and exist. But for me, it's like, I don't know. Yeah, GameStop's slimy. We all hate GameStop, but Game Informer was pretty cool. And I was glad that it existed. And to know that it made it all the way to 2024 is pretty badass. It's a sad one. Like, obviously it's understandable. I doubt anyone listening to this podcast is like, oh man, I guess my Game Informer subscription's finally coming to an end. It's like, there's a good reason why they're closing. None of us were buying that shit anymore, but doesn't mean we don't remember them, you know, enjoy the warm fuzzy memories. I'm so interested. I wish I could pick up one of the more recent issues of Game Informer because I would love to see what the ads are like now. The ads are so fucking miserably dumb now. The ad would be like a white page with like 12 point Times New Roman font, and it would just be like, the iPhone 15 Pro Max takes really good photos. You should consider purchasing one at your local phone retail establishment. And then people are like, wow, what a great ad, because nothing has any fucking personality or charm anymore because the 90s took all the fun with it when it died. I'm so angry about that. Anyway, so shout out to Game Informer. Rest in peace. And of course, to all the people that worked at Game Informer, that fucking sucks. Hopefully they're all able to pivot and do great things in a world without Game Informer. But just want to pay some respects. Shout out to print video game publications. That shit was so cool. Man, not having the instant gratification of like, let me download this free-to-play game. Let me redeem my V-Bucks and get the skin. Like, I don't know. Having to like wait for magazines, like I hope mom takes me to the grocery store so I can run to the magazine aisle, check out Nintendo Power, and figure out what's going on in the world of video games was so special compared to like, oh, I'm in an awkward conversation with a stranger at work right now, and I'm just gonna stare down at my phone and scroll. Oh, look at that, a new game was announced. Oh, look, a new game was delayed. Oh, look, another team was shut down. Oh, look, this is what all my followers and people I follow have to say about everything happening in gaming. Oh, look, it's all negative. Everyone hates everything. Okay, cool. I'm informed now. I don't know. Just something more special. Mom takes you and your sibling out to Publix or Kroger. You jump on. There's only 2 aisles. You're at Publix as a kid. You want to go to the bakery because they give you a free cookie if you're a kid. That's fucking awesome. Then if you're at Kroger, you want to run to the dairy section because in the 90s, we used to have this thing called Fun. And so if you went to a Kroger grocery store in the 90s, there were big, giant displays of cows plastered on the fucking walls. And when you opened up the freezer door to the cooler where the milk was, the cows would moo at you, and it was fucking awesome. And then if you went a little further down to where the eggs were, there was a giant cutout display of a barn with chickens laying eggs, and then when you open the door, you'd hear the chickens balking and laying their eggs and shit, and it was awesome. And when you were a kid, you're like, damn, the grocery store is fun because they got chickens laying eggs, they got cows going moo, if you're moo, not mew, and if you're at the Publix, they give you the free cookie. And then the magazine aisle, they got Nintendo Power, they got PlayStation Magazine, they got Xbox, they got all the shit. Dude, we had it so good as kids, man. Remember playing your Game Boy throughout the grocery store, stepping on mom's shoe, pissing her off by accident because you're not paying attention where you're going? Those are good times. All right. I think we did Game Informer justice. Let's move on. Talk about Warner Bros. Warner Bros. Discovery is reportedly considering selling its stake in video games, or in the video game business. According to Financial Times, who claim that the media giant is looking to offload smaller assets in an attempt to help reverse the near 70% decline in stock price since Warner Media and Discover merged back in 2022, it said that they're considering to offer to sell Polish broadcast TVN or a stake in its video games arm, which is home to a dozen studios. Studios include Avalanche Software, Hogwarts Legacy / Disney Infinity, / Cars 3 Driven to Win, Rocksteady, Suicide Squad, Kill the Justice League, as well as Batman Arkham, TT Games, known for Lego games, NetherRealm, known for Mortal Kombat and Injustice, Monolith Productions, known for the Middle-earth games, Warner Bros. Games Montreal, known for Gotham Knights and Batman Arkham Origins. So, a lot of great teams, a lot of great talent. Also, worth noting, they recently, like a week or two ago, acquired Player First Games, which is the team behind Multiverses, the free-to-play fighting game they have. So, Warner Bros. So those are other teams, like their highlights. But Warner Bros. Discovery executive J.B. Perrette said earlier in the year that the company's gaming business revolves around 4 main intellectual properties, which are billion-dollar-plus businesses themselves. What would those 4 things be? Middle-earth, Lego, Harry Potter, and DC superheroes? Or maybe Mortal Kombat? I don't know. Whatever. Here, it says what they are. They are Mortal Kombat, Game of Thrones, DC, and Harry Potter. What the fuck? Oh, yeah, I guess they don't really have... Because fucking Embracer Group owns Middle-earth now. What do they call it? Middle-earth Enterprises and Friends. Oh, my God, kill me. What the fuck? Back in the day, we used to have ads for skateboarding and milk. Do you remember all those Got Milk ads? Do you remember the really adamantly strong Got Milk ad campaign that was in like every Marvel comic book and Nintendo Power in the early 2000s? Got Milk ads were so much fucking cooler than Middle-earth Enterprises and Friends, owned by Embracer Group, a conglomerate of vaguely European men who don't understand a goddamn thing, shitting over and smearing the good name of the Tolkien estate. What the fuck is happening? Game of Thrones? Isn't that the booby show with a Starbucks cup on HBO? I don't want that in my video games. Get that away from me. While last year's Harry Potter spinoff, Hogwarts Legacy, was 2023's best-selling game, Warner took a $200 million loss on this year's once highly anticipated Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League, which was better than people say it is, but not that good. Warner Bros. Discovery CEO David Zaslav said that last year the company was focused on transforming its biggest franchises from largely console and PC based with 3 to 4 year release schedules to include more always on gameplay through live services, multi-platform, and free-to-play extensions, with their goal having more players spending more time on more platforms. This is why you guys need to sell off some of your gaming arm, WB Discovery, because you don't understand what the fuck you're doing with gaming, because what's not working is your live service, always on, free-to-play, multiplayer extension, platform-to-platform bullshit, like Suicide Squad, and what is working is your highly detailed, long in development, fully thought out, big budget, single player adventure, get lost in the narrative kind of big adventure games like Hogwarts Legacy. I just love how like they have this 1-2 success bomb like Hogwarts Legacy followed by Suicide Squad, and their takeaway is we need more shit like Suicide Squad. Great job. You definitely deserve to be in business. I can't believe you motherfuckers outlasted Game Informer. At least Game Informer had hype behind it, okay? You get your free cookie, you listen to the Calico Moo in the dairy section, and then you read your Game Informer. What the fuck do you have going for you, WB? You got like 4 good movies and a million bad ones. I just suffered through that whole second Aquaman movie. It sucks. It sucks. It sucks. Okay? And now you want to lean into Suicide Squad and back out of Harry Potter, Hogwarts Legacy. The problem with these fucking corporations is like they're so addicted to the instant gratification. They're like, oh man, sorry, not the instant gratification. They're so money hungry for these cash cows. They see Fortnite and all this shit, and they're like, we gotta do that. We have to capture lightning in a bottle. It's like, why can it not just be enough for you that people love the Batman Arkham games, that people loved Hogwarts Legacy? Why can't it be enough for you to be like, we have something really special with these iconic IP, highly talented studios, and our ability to craft these really excellent single-player adventures within these worlds everyone knows and love? Why can that not be enough for you? But you got to fucking force a round peg into a square hole by being like, more. We need more Apex Legends DC video games, please, for the love of God. If we don't see Joker swinging around, fucking hitting the fucking Scooby-Doo and friends with a baseball bat, then we're just never going to be able to be a big multi-billion-dollar corporate. Shut the fuck up. How is Discovery and Warner Bros. Discovery like the Discovery Channel? So like Disney owns Disney doesn't own Animal Planet. Disney owns National Geographic and Warner Bros. Owns Discovery Channel. Do you see how fucked up this is? Why does that exist? What is that? I just can't wait for. And Disney has acquired Pfizer, and and Comcast has what's another one? Johnson & Johnson's been acquired by NBC Universal. Anyway, that's stupid. That's very stupid. Here's the thing. This is worth mentioning because remember a few years ago when this was getting talked about where they're like, maybe we'll sell off our video games business. It's really costly. It's expensive to own and operate, even though, it's high risk, but high reward. And then everyone was like, Xbox should go buy WB Games. And then they didn't buy WB Games. I was like, thank God. I just want to say, in a world where we saw what happened with Activision, none of you motherfuckers better start saying, Xbox, go to Warner Bros. And offer money for Batman. I want Batman on Game Pass. Shut up. Shut your mouth. Shut your stupid tiny mouth. Shut your stupid tiny I love corporations. I hate government trying to hold corporations accountable. I get it. You love the corporations. You love the housing market being the way it is. You love high interest rates. We get that you love inflation. We get that you love government corruption. We love that you love corporate corruption. We love that you love the instituted minimum wage that keeps people at a lower cost of living. We understand you love the rat race. You love traffic. You love bad infrastructure. You love government corruption so much. You love the BP oil spill, don't you, you stupid motherfucker? Stop egging this shit on. This is just an advance notice. If I start seeing you stupid fucking Xbox fanboys with the stupid avatar pictures on your Twitters, on your X profiles, and your name is like, I'm Mad Dog XD9, and my favorite video game is Xbox as a brand, and Phil Spencer's my best friend. Look, he took a photograph with me one time at a gaming convention, which means I love Xbox. If I see one of those motherfuckers start to talk about, well, Xbox, maybe you should step in and buy WB Games, I will single-handedly talk shit about you on my podcast in front of an audience of roughly 137 people, and you will never hear about it because no one's ever going to recirculate this episode. So just think about that before you go ahead and hit tweet, okay? Or what do they call it now? They call it posting? Is that what Elon Musk calls it now? Posting? Ooh, I don't tweet my thoughts. I post my thoughts. Interesting. What is this, Tumblr? Get the fuck out of here. All right. I'm on some fucking shit tonight. I'm on some Raising Cane's or something. I don't know what's going on with me. Let's talk about Bungie. I largely ignored this story last week because I'm like, that's Sony's problem now, right? But I think I made a mistake in doing that. There's kind of too much here to talk about. So, Luke Smith and Mark Noseworthy, is that really his name? 2 Bungie veterans known for their work on Destiny are reportedly no longer with the company following the cancellation of Project Payback. According to journalist Jeff Grubb, and speaking on the Games Mess Decides podcast, The duo was let go following the cancellation of Payback, an incubation project that is believed would become a game in the Destiny series, but not Destiny 3. Quote, Luke Smith and Mark Noseworthy are no longer at Bungie. They were let go, said Grubb. They were caught in an executive and leadership shakeup mentioned in the blog, that from last week. Payback has been shelved. Grubb later clarified his comments, explaining that despite saying that they were let go, it was more accurate to say that they left due to leadership restructuring. Payback was a project reportedly shut down in mid-June. According to Bloomberg report by Jason Schreier, Payback was an incubation project that would be set in the Destiny universe. Rather than a full-blown Destiny 3, Payback was set to be a spin-off that would be played in a third-person perspective rather than the typical first-person Destiny view. According to Schreier's post, his ex-post, the game would allow players to use franchise's characters to explore large worlds while cooperating and battling monsters and solving puzzles. It would take inspiration from games like Genshin Impact and Warframe. It's also claimed that Payback was canceled 2 months ago, with most of its team moving on over to Bungie's upcoming Marathon game. Grubb later clarified comments saying that we already said that. Last week, Bungie announced that it was laying off 220 staff members, or roughly 17% of its studio, with a further 155 staff being integrated into Sony Interactive Entertainment, basically being formed as a first-party Sony team. It's kind of weird. So, yeah, Bungie's in the shitter, and a lot of people are like, I guess Final Shape didn't do well. No, Bungie's in serious shit right now. Sony paid a crap load of money for them, and they're not going to get that money back anytime soon. And it looks like Bungie's a mess. I think this is what's really interesting and relevant to Xbox is apparently, as the rumor goes, nothing's confirmed. Shortly before Sony bought Bungie, apparently Xbox really was looking into buying Bungie back, which was a rumor for a long time but never confirmed. And newer rumors and reports say that the reason why Xbox didn't proceed with courting Bungie and trying to reacquire them around 2021 or so was because they did a cost benefit analysis on Bungie and basically determined that they're over their skis and that there's no way they were going to be a profitable business, and that was too much of a financial risk to take on Bungie. And that was what Microsoft apparently said. And listen, I know Microsoft's a big and smart company, but Microsoft's a dumb fucking company. They make some stupid purchases. I mean, they bought Activision. I mean, they make some dumb fucking purchases. So I'm just going to say it. If Microsoft was smart enough to not buy Bungie, Sony really fucked up. And that's uncharacteristic of Sony, because Sony is usually a little more methodical and smart and wise with these kinds of moves. So it seems like Bungie was a whole mess of a situation for them. And now they're stuck in this situation where their leadership is shaken up. A lot of great talent has been forced out, pushed out, fired, let go, whatever. And they're kind of in this project stasis where Destiny's going to continue to get support, but the main attraction's kind of over. There's, word that they're working on Destiny 3, but who knows when that will be. They're working on another project that's yet to be announced, apparently. And then they got Marathon, which is the reports over the past year have been the game's not coming along the way people thought it would be. It's playtesting all right, but it's not that great. So seems like Bungie's in a little bit of a pickle here. It sucks. Of course, you got to think about the people who lost their jobs. Of course, that's the number one saddest part here. But you also think, hopefully, this leadership shakeup is what Bungie needed. Apparently, from people who ex-Bungie employees, a lot of people are very unsatisfied with the leadership at Bungie. I've been calling for them to step down forever. So maybe this is what people have been needing to see from Bungie all along, is for leadership to step down and for something new to happen. So hopefully this is the beginning of restructuring that is largely beneficial to Bungie's future. But it sucks that this is where we are and that everything's a fucking mess right now. And I bet you one thing more than anything, Sony's probably what the fuck did we get ourselves into? What a nightmare, dude. Shout out to Final Shape, though. It is pretty fucking fun. All right, guys, that's it for all the big news. We do have a little wrap-up here. We got some from Xbox Wire, some Game Pass updates. So coming soon, we kind of talked about some of these already, but we'll get into it in more detail. So as of today, the day this podcast goes live, Creatures of Ava is available day one Game Pass, Cloud Console, and PC, as well as Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy. So play either of those on Game Pass. They're available now. Next week on August 13th, Mafia Definitive Edition will come to Game Pass via Cloud Console and PC. Leaving Game Pass because it's that time of month, on August 15th, the following 4 games will leave the service: Airborne Kingdoms, Off-World Trading Company, Shadow Warrior 3, Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Shadow Warrior 3 I did not play, but the first Shadow Warrior game's pretty fucking cool, so I'm sure that game's pretty good. Anyway, buy them now before they leave the service and you get a discount, or play them now, whatever you want to do. Guys, it's going to do for all our big news stories. Let's get into our important enough news stories. Stories important enough to make the podcast, but not important enough to warrant their own discussions. Starting with our layoffs of the week. This is not really Xbox related, but I wanted to read it anyway. I don't know why. Meta has confirmed that it's closing its first-party development studio Ready at Dawn. The California, U.S.-based company was founded in 2003 and acquired by Meta in 2020. Previously suffered layoffs last year. When speaking with Android Central, the Meta spokesperson told the publication that the cuts were made to ensure that the Reality Labs project stays within the budget of that Oculus Studios can make a better long-term impact in the VR development, meaning game development is hurting everywhere, including in the VR space that is just fucking middling. I mean, it's getting nowhere. VR's kind of a mess right now, but maybe it's just a rough patch. I don't know. Sad to see Ready at Dawn leave. These are the guys that made The Order 1886. They made a couple of they did that one of those Jak and Daxter spin-off games. I don't know. They're notable. 2003. I mean, you got to think this team was formed around the time where you could flip open an issue of The Amazing Spider-Man and get a Got Milk ad or maybe a Nintendo GameCube ad. Like, remember when you were reading a Spider-Man comic and you'd get like a Super Mario Sunshine ad? That was some good shit, man. I miss those days. All right, moving on. Sega files a trademark for Yakuza Wars. What the hell? Gamatsu spotted the trademark that was published in Japan this week. The filing name suggests that the game will be a video game product of some sort rather than any other Sega owned enterprise. So it's probably a video game, but it's not clear if it's a sequel to Like a Dragon or if it's something new or a spinoff or whatever. So keep an eye on that name, I guess. Next up, THQ Nordic has teased a new Darksiders game is on the way. It's been a while since we had one of these. At the end of the recent THQ Nordic digital showcase, a teaser for Darksiders was revealed in some form. It is unclear whether or not it is another remake or remaster or if it's a proper sequel, but we'll keep an eye out. The Xbox Wire blog post referring to referred to the game as a new Darksiders game, but didn't confirm, again, remake, remaster, sequel. So who knows? Next up, if you are on Xbox One because you're weird like that and you love Star Wars, but you haven't had blue milk, good news for you. EA will release Star Wars Jedi Survivors on Xbox One on September 17th. The last-gen version of the game will sell for only $50 and feature a variety of optimizations to maximize the hardware capabilities of this limited dated console, according to the publisher. And finally, Arcane founders Rafael Colantonio thinks fans of Dishonored and Prey will be pleased with the next game they're about to announce. Following 18 years at Arcane, during which he served as president, co-director, Colantonio announced in 2019 that he'd formed a new studio called Wolfeye. Wolfeye's next game was revealed back in March when it was described as a first-person retro sci-fi RPG. We'll probably get a proper game reveal for this at opening night live at what's it called? It's called Gamescom. European people, European game, European event. It just makes sense. Jeff Keighley. That's it for all of our news this week. You guys, we made it to the end. The best part of the show, the only show worth listening to, the only part of the show worth listening to, the comments, the write-ins, the shout-outs from youtube.com. You write in, you say, Jesse, I'm dumb. I need to listen to your podcast. And I'll say, that's okay. You leave a comment. Say anything nice, anything mean. I'm all game. But what I do ask above all else is that you please leave a 5-star review. iTunes in particular, but any podcast service you use, leave a 5-star review, and it will just help me a great deal. I'm just now realizing that at the top of the show, I didn't read our opening comment like I always do for Mike Clark, who wrote in and said, Xbox On podcast, making Thursdays more enjoyable for everyone. And that got a thumbs up from someone, so cool. Thank you. Comments. We got 8 comments to get into this week, and just like last week, in no particular order because I'm a lazy fuck. Starting with Mr. Mauk, who says, if we do get a handheld tease later this year, I can see that helping Game Pass subscriptions. I browsed through subreddits of PC handhelds, and a lot of them say Game Pass is a must for those devices. I can see how new users come to Xbox if they do have a handheld and Game Pass being a great way to jump into the games right away. Yeah, man, I mean, I definitely feel like Game Pass is way more important to me now that I use that Logitech G Cloud device because like game streaming actually fucking matters to me now. I mean, that's just one anecdote, but to support your what you're saying here, Yeah, man. And now we're getting some reports this week from some corners that are saying that Xbox is definitely intending to release that handheld in conjunction with the next Xbox Series X successor. So like it will be part of the next gen lineup supposedly. So dude, it's happening. Whatever it is, it's happening, and I'm excited to see it. We may learn about it as early as this December at the Game Awards. Maybe that's too early, but we might. So expect some hardware announcements there. I'm excited, man. Next up, Dead Captain James, the sexy boy who started it all, writes in and says, even though I don't own an Xbox anymore, I'm still interested in the future of Xbox. I fully expect Microsoft to figure out a way to make Xbox hardware or a subscription. That just seems like the future they are headed towards somehow. I mean, they've kind of already done that. Remember, I forget what they call it, but they did it during the Xbox One generation. Then they did it again at the beginning of the Xbox Series generation. I don't know if they still offer it, but I forget what it's called. But it's that thing where you can basically, I don't even think you need to do like a credit check or anything, but you can finance an Xbox Series X and Game Pass with Xbox for like 2 years. So it's like only a couple bucks a month, and you basically subscribe to get it. So yeah, I mean, it's an interesting idea. Hardware being a subscription. So what, like a lease program or something where like they come out with new hardware, and like for some higher tier Game Pass, like there's Game Pass Ultimate, that like the one we know and have now, but then there's another one called like Game Pass Ultimate Plus hardware, where it's like for $39 a month you get Game Pass plus we'll ship you the latest Xbox console, and then whenever a new one comes out you ship it back to us and we ship you the newer one, and you just pay $20 a month for your Game Pass, $20 a month for your console indefinitely in some bundled $40 a month subscription. I could see something like that happening, subsidizing the cost of your hardware with this gaming subscription service. That's not, I don't think that would work. I don't think that would turn out being a thing for them, but you could see that happening. Mostly just because we live in a world where everything is a subscription. I'm fucking mind blown that Burger King doesn't have a subscription service. Remember when Taco Bell really did do a subscription service a while back? I guess it's gone now, but they had a thing where it was like $10 a month and you could get it would entitle you to a taco every day. So like you pay $10 a month, and then every day throughout the month you can go to Taco Bell and you're entitled to at least a free taco with that subscription. Holy shit, what is happening in this world, man? ZG It writes in and says, voting is immoral. How the fuck is voting immoral? Voting is immoral. Why? My brain hurts thinking about it, man. Just throw me off, man. ZG It? What does that even mean? God bless you. Cargo Runner writes in with a double header and says, I have an emulator in a replica arcade cabinet. It has a few hundred games on it, including Halo 2600, like you mentioned last week. It's pretty clever to demake that's so fun to play through at least once. You can play it on a Series S or X if you install an emulator and buy a cheap developer mode license. Nope, not doing that. I have not tried it myself, but plenty of people on social media have been impressed with the emulators on Xbox Series consoles. I appreciate you letting us know. Maybe someone out there wants to do that at their own risk. That is cool that can happen. And I appreciate you writing in to let us know that you've played the game and it is indeed fun. It looks fun. I bet it is fun. I've seen some gameplay footage of it on YouTube. That being said, I'm not modding my Xbox. I'm not doing anything like that. Never. I'm not emulating on my Xbox. Xbox is for simple gaming, for people with simple minds. The second you emulate on an Xbox, you are playing a PC. I don't care what the fuck it says when you turn it on. That's a PC. No thank you. Cargo Runner also says, I used to watch IGN Unlocked. The quality just got lower and lower. That's why I started looking for something better and found Xbox On. Your podcast is way more interesting than Unlocked, and you do way more research to get the most important news for us all. Great job. There's no more fitting episode to read this comment on than the one where I said, hey guys, we got to go a little fast this week because work's got me kind of busy. But joking aside, Cargo Runner, that is a very flattering and very kind comment. And I really do appreciate your kind words. That genuinely did help make me have a better day when you wrote that in. I saw that. So from the bottom of my heart, thank you for that comment. That is very kind of you. Now, that being said and that put aside, I gotta say, Cargo Runner, are you a fucking crack cocaine addict or something, man? What the hell? Now, to be fair, I used to be an avid Podcast Unlocked listener. I'd say from about 2014 to 2017, 18. I kind of started listening intermittently around 2018 and then fell off around the time I moved here. I haven't listened to Podcast Unlocked in probably 4 or 5 years. It's been a minute, for sure. So I can't speak to the quality and the state of the podcast today, but I can speak to, at the very least, the integrity, the research, and the effort that Ryan McCaffrey puts into his work. And I don't know, man. I can't accept a compliment like that when I think Ryan McCaffrey's a shit. I think he's really good at what he does. And at least back in the day, back in the heyday where it was like Ryan McCaffrey and sometimes Marty Sleva, and you had Destin Legary, and then remember Alana Pierce was on the podcast for a while at one point. Like back in those days, oh man, I'm so nostalgic for those like early 2010 IGN days. Jose Otero doing the Nintendo voice chat. I miss those days. But anyway, those I'm nostalgic for like back when it was like the OG Unlocked cast as soon as Ryan McCaffrey started there, plus like OG Nintendo voice chat with Jose Otero, and then of course the best podcast Beyond with Colin and Greg. Those were the fucking days, man. But anyway, that aside, maybe IGN Unlocked has just lost all integrity and quality, but I find it hard to believe that this show is better researched and improvement over that. But to each his own. If you like this show better, that truly is very flattering and I appreciate it. I just can't agree that this is a better Xbox podcast. That being said, I have a lot more fun doing this podcast than I do listening to IGN. Ryan McCaffrey aside, IGN doesn't have a good staff anymore. I feel like they can't nail good talent anymore. No offense to people that work there today. I guess it's hard to say that and for it to not sound offensive, but I just feel like they don't really have any good personalities anymore. They got a couple people still lingering. They got Ryan McCaffrey. They still got they still have Damon Hatfield. He's still at IGN, right? I don't know. They still got some good people. Anyway, thank you for writing in, Cargo Runner. You have a blessed week, you sexy man. Scarface 43 Gaming says sales are dropping because they are not making it appealing to be on the console. They're making it easier to access from other platforms. Why even get an Xbox if you can access the games from multiple other platforms? With PC even having cheaper Game Pass with day one games than console. I myself am a hardcore Xbox fan, but Microsoft is even driving me away from the platform. Scarface, that is entirely an appropriate interpretation and reaction to what's going on. I cannot argue with it one bit. Clearly that indicates, though, that Xbox knows this is going to happen as a result of these actions and doesn't care. All that tells us is that growing Game Pass in as many places as possible is clearly the bigger directive and prerogative for them than selling hardware. So the question then becomes not why is Xbox sacrificing hardware by putting their shit everywhere, but rather what is the long-term plan and does hardware have a place in that plan? Does it fit in? Does it belong with that plan? And that is what I'm worried about, is the future where it no longer makes sense to have their own dedicated hardware, and then that falls through the cracks. Because God Almighty, I love an Xbox hardware, a hard Xbox. I love it. Thank you for writing in. Mr. Way of the Lao writes in, guys, it's been so fucking long since we've seen this beautiful bastard, and here he is. He says, guys, much love to y'all. Sorry I've been away. I've been working graveyards and doing school. Life's been rough, but today, your boy got another Xbox Series X after giving mine away to my older niece and her family. That's right, Lau is old. His nieces and nephews have kids. But anyways, give my regards to the family, and remember that Lau is always listening. Mr. Lau, it is genuinely so good to see you, to hear from you. I miss the old days when I used to do the Twitch streams on Mondays, and you'd always be there in the chat, and we'd goof around, and I'd be fucking tired as hell from a long day of work, but it was always fun to play some Black Ops 3 zombie mods and hang out with Mr. Way of the Lao and a couple others. So I miss those days, and it's good to hear from you, man. So I'm glad you're doing well. Try to get some rest, man. Take care of yourself. But awesome to see that you're finishing up school, going through that, and you're doing it, man. You're grinding. There's something at the end of there's a light at the end of the tunnel, and it is the accomplishment that you are seeking. And I know you can do it. So reach that finish line. And if the light at the end of the tunnel becomes like he's dying walking into a light, don't fucking walk into that light, Mr. Lau. We need you. But if it's like a light at the end of the tunnel, like, oh, I'm graduating, I'm getting my degree, I'm going to go be a teacher at MIT, I'm going to teach Riz at MIT or something like that, then just fucking run towards that light, Mr. Lau. You got it. You got it. But good to see you, man. Take care. Definitely get some rest. Treat yourself well. Hope to hear from you again soon. iCrunky writes in and says, I imagine new hardware that they are teasing pretty much has to be the handheld. I really doubt that they're ready to talk about the next full generation. I'm really excited about it, actually. I hope it doesn't suffer from typical new hardware issues with defective units and such, because I will day one be an adopter. Well, a lot of reporting going around right now suggests that this handheld is part of the next generation of Xbox hardware. So if they're going to talk about it in December, sounds like you're going to learn about the next generation. Although they could do an Xbox Series S and X type thing where they announce the one that they're most excited about, and then much closer to launch, they'll talk about the other units. So that's a possibility as well, but either way, get ready for some Xbox hardware news in the coming 4 months or so. All right, let's wrap up this week with the best, the only, the one and only, the sexiest man alive, headhunting Halo. He says, VIP is added to Halo Infinite, and I'm having a blast. Got all battle passes done and mini ones, and I love accomplishing that accomplished feeling. Anyone else ready for Assassin's Creed Shadows? Spooky season's coming, y'all. Almost that warm, cozy feeling again. I've lost 5 pounds in my diet so far, so yay, hurrah. Lost that in a week, so I'm proud of myself. Love you all. Headhunting Halo, there's a lot here. First of all, I'm glad you're enjoying your Halo Infinite. Glad you're looking forward to your Assassin's Creed. Congrats on your weight loss. Congrats on the dieting, man. It's not easy, so take pride in that. You did that. Keep up the good work. Spooky season? Oh, yeah, it's coming. I know it's coming because living in Georgia, it's like July. It's like fucking go to Six Flags Over Georgia, watch the 4th of July fireworks, go to Lake Lanier, and drink a brewski, grill a hamburger. August rolls around, it's like last hurrah of summer, school's coming up, let's get back to school, pencils and shoes, and get ready to see our friends again. September rolls around, and at first it's like Labor Day, can't wear white anymore, or I'll pinch you like a leprechaun or something. I don't know the fucking holiday rules. And then after that, around mid-September, it turns Halloween, and it's fun, and it's my favorite holiday, and it's the best time of year. Here in Orlando, it's basically Halloween 365, but Halloween really started in like July here, and my girlfriend is like obsessed. Dude, she's buying fucking pumpkins. We're going to Home Goods every other day. She's looking at like the ceramic witches and zombies and mummies and shit. Headhunting Halo, I need you to save me, dude. Spooky season doesn't fucking end here. It's my favorite holiday, and I feel like I can't even enjoy it because it never goes away. You know, it's like, I don't know what it's like. It's like a physical examination. Like, I love when the doctor tells me to drop my drawers and tells me to cough and turn my head. But if he did it every day, it wouldn't be special. You know what I'm saying? So I like to have it kept to be this one special thing that happens once a year. I get to look forward to it all year long. And then there's this one magical day where the doctor says, don't be afraid to look to the right and cough. Halloween, be more like a physical examination and less like a full-time job. Please, for the love of Christ, I'm asking and begging him. That being said, my girlfriend did already buy pumpkin spice Keurig cups from Dunkin' Donuts because what else? I love how she refused to go with me to Epcot to see the 4th of July fireworks, but she's already fucking buying Halloween pumpkins and decorations and costumes out the ass. So gotta love it. Good for her. Good for her. But yeah, she did already get the Keurig cups for Dunkin' Donuts pumpkin spice coffee. I had one last night after dinner. Sometimes after dinner, I'm just like feeling a cup of coffee, so I'll brew a cup. And last night I was just feeling a little frisky, so I was like, yeah, fuck it, I'll try one of the pumpkin spice ones. Gotta be honest, I'm a basic bitch at heart. I love pumpkin spice. I love Starbucks pumpkin spice latte. I know people like to rag on, like, it's a basic bitch thing. I don't care. Dude, Starbucks PSL is fucking awesome. Fuck you if you don't like it. It's great stuff. But I drank that pumpkin spice coffee, the Keurig version of the Dunkin' Donuts. It's pretty fucking good. I took one sip of it and I was like, damn, I'm kind of ready for fall. Like, I like summer. I'm a big fan of summer. Used to hate summer, like summer a lot. I try to just appreciate all the seasons. I'm not trying to like run through my life. You know, I want to enjoy my limited time being alive. So summer's good times, great things about summer, but having a sip of that pumpkin coffee, oh man, spooky season is right around the corner. I actually need to get over to Sam's Club and check out their Halloween decorations this year because knowing Florida people, they'll be sold out. They're probably already sold out. What the fuck am I saying? All right, Headhunting Halo, thank you for writing in. Thank you for being a man who I would grab the head of and give you a big old kiss on top of your head and say, "You beautiful bastard," and then throw my hands up in excitement and in jubilee. So thank you for being there. Thank you for being one and only. Thank you all for listening to this, I guess, shortened version of Xbox On Podcast, an hour and 20 minutes. Not the longest, not the shortest. You guys have a great week. Be well, be safe. Lose your weight, but don't lose yourself. And until next week, the blue milk is for drinking. The butterbeer is for... What's that? Rum is for drinking beers. Power your dreams.
The skies ahead are vast and clear. I hold my breath, step up a gear, feel the wind, smell the air. Chances are everywhere. Our sights are set beyond the moon.